Okay, think I am live now. And okay, I wanted to go ahead and I wanted to discuss someone's comment when I asked for questions. Okay, what do you do when you get to your weight goal but you still have much fat to lose? Info: 26, height 5'8". Starting body weight 310 pounds, waist 52 inches. Current weight 187 pounds, waist 30.5 inches. Okay, that is amazing. That is just insane. 21 and a half inches lost around his waist. Okay, practically cut his weight in half. I've seen him stripped off damn near fat from everywhere except my chest, torso, and arms. I was thinking cut down to 160, then reverse diet to 180, add 20 pounds of muscle with a lean bulk before I hit 30 years old. But since I see myself every day, it would be nice to get some pointers from someone like you so I know where I'm heading. Thank you again. By the way, I'm a veteran as well, served in the United States Marine Corps. Thank you, brother. Okay, that is insane, Marine. That is really crazy. Okay, first of all, let me just figure something out here. 187 to 190 to 200 would be 13, 123 pounds, and he dropped 21 and a half inches. So 123 pounds, 21 and a half inches. At 5 pounds per inch, 21 and a half inches would be like 107 pounds he would have to lose. Okay, so basically he lost 100 and he would have to lose about 107 pounds. He ended up losing 123 pounds. So when I say that you can figure out your goal body weight, okay, from your waist measurement by saying every inch around your waist that you lose, you have to lose basically 5 pounds of fat from your body. This is actually very accurate. Now, the thing is, I've never actually done it with somebody who was really obese. Like 310 pounds is a lot of weight. 52-inch waist is a lot. Okay, so I've never actually figured it out like this. I figured it out with myself when I gained like, 10, 20, 30 pounds. Like right now, to prepare, I got out of shape to do this recomp. To show you guys how I recompose my body. I'm not that overweight. Stallone, for instance, when he did Copland, he got fat. He went from like a 30 to like a 40-inch waist, like a 32 to a 40-something inch waist, about 5 pounds per inch. So, but even from 310 to 187 pounds, 5 pounds of body fat per inch around your waist still stays pretty much true. Okay, so that is really a good indicator. Okay, I just wanted to say that. Because it's not every day, like I said, that I get statistics like this. Okay, now, if you have a 30 and a half inch waist, you are lean as fuck. Okay, it's like you said, you have no body fat. He says, I've seen him stripped off damn near fat from everywhere except my chest, torso, and arms. Okay, so the thing that I'm thinking right now is, maybe you do have a little bit of fat around your upper body. I really would not suggest that you cut anymore, because if you have a 30 and a half inch waist, you are so goddamn lean. Okay, I mean, that's like that is extraordinary. That's world-class leanness. Okay, Dusad, I just saw your question. I'll get to you in a second. But what I'm saying is, with a 30 and a half inch waist, 187 pounds, what I would suggest this guy do is actually lean bulk. Okay, because if you build muscle in your arms and your shoulders and your chest, even if you have a little bit of fat there because you store body fat there, you will look a lot better because the muscle will push out. It's kind of like, should you do your abs in the off season or during a bulk? Yes, because if you have blocky or stronger abs, aside from athleticism and health and reasons like that, if you have blocky or thicker abs, they'll push through a little bit of body fat. So even if you're not really, really lean, you'll still have visible abs. Okay, and it's the same thing here. If you build up your chest and your shoulders and your arms, even if you store body fat there, it will push through it, so you'll still look leaner. Okay, I really don't suggest you cut anymore. So I don't know what kind of a diet you went on. I mean, if you're following me, I always talk about low-carb diet, so I'm going to go out on a limb here and think maybe you're talking about a low-carb diet. But Mr. Sleeping Violent, this is what I would do. This is what I would suggest. This is what I would do if I were you. I would set my protein for my goal body weight. Okay. So if you want to, so if you're 187 pounds right now, and you want to get down to 160 and then add another 20 pounds. I would say you set your protein for like 180, maybe 190 pounds. Okay. So if you want to actually build up a little bit of muscle, set your protein a little bit higher, but set your total calories a little bit lower. Okay. So if your goal body weight is going to be 180 pounds, okay, but you want to cut down to 160, what I would suggest is you lower your calories down, okay, to be appropriate for 160, but set your protein for your goal body weight, which is 180, okay? If you're doing keto, if you're doing just fat and protein, that would mean you'd have a little bit more protein in your diet than usual and a little bit less fat, okay, to make the calories work. So I would go ahead and I'd set it, for instance, 100. If you're really going for 100, I'm just saying this. If you're really going for 160 pounds, I'd set my calories at 15 calories per pound of body weight. So 160 pounds would be like 2,400 calories. Okay. Excuse me. And if your goal body weight is going to be 180, I would suggest you set 1.5 grams of protein. So if your lean body weight is like, not lean body weight, but like your leanish body weight after you get lean would be 160 pounds, I would say 2,400 calories. And if you're trying to bulk up to 180, but lean bulk up to 180, then I would suggest that you set your protein at 2,700. Okay. Depending upon what kind of a workout you're doing, you may get hungry. Okay, you may get hungry at some point. Now, there's a difference between being like not being stuffed or wanting to eat a donut or something, and really being hungry. So let your hunger be your guide. When you actually start really getting hungry, like you eat your meal, and you're like hungrier after your meal than you were before your meal. Like you really got this like panic hunger going on. It's time to increase your calories. So increase your calories by about 1 calorie per pound of body weight. So add in like 150, 180, 200 calories per day. Okay. And then just see how you do that. But that's what I would do. Like I said, 2,400 calories a day, 270 grams of protein, and add in fat, okay, to increase the calories as you have to deal with your hunger. Okay, so that's, like I said, that's the way I do it. I also, like I said, I don't know what kind of a workout you do. If you do cardio, what kind of cardio, how much cardio, if you play sports. I don't know what kind of a workout you do. I don't know what kind of a diet you're on. But assuming that you're doing mostly weights or weighted calisthenics, assuming that you, like I said, don't do a lot of cardio, okay, according to these stats, that's what I would suggest. Okay, now let me go ahead and get onto the live stream here so I could see the comments. Okay. So I can see the comments. Great. Now, where are they? Okay, how much would it take for me to go from 18% body fat to 10% on a pure protein diet? My total daily energy expenditure is about 3,000 calories. I'm 21 years old, lift 5 times a week for strength, currently in low intensity cardio 3 times a week. I'm very patient, just want to get it done faster if I can with pure protein. I don't know. It depends. How should I put this? I don't really put a whole lot of value, okay? I don't really put a whole lot of value in body fat percentages because it's very rare that you get somebody, you get a very good reading for body fat percentages. Oh, okay, here. So here, I'm at 200 pounds exactly. 8% for me is about 180 pounds. Before I got fat, I was there. Okay, cool. Now I work better with weight. Okay, waist measurement or body weight because I really deal better with pounds of body fat, because a lot of times people will come and they're like, I stood on a scale and it shot electricity through my feet and it says I'm 3% body fat. Okay, whatever, or somebody just says, like I said, they're 250 pounds, never worked out in their life, and they think if they cut 50 pounds down to 200, they'll be ripped. Not going to happen. So like I said, okay, here, if you're at 200 pounds and you want to get down to 180 pounds, you could probably do that really quickly. It depends upon what you're doing right now. I mean, if you're fairly healthy, okay, if you're eating fairly healthy, 200 pounds down to 180 pounds, you could probably do that in a couple months easily. If you're eating rubbish, like if you're just eating crap, you could probably lose, 10 pounds within the first week or two, and then you'll continue losing weight a little bit slower, okay? Like I said, the thing about the pure protein diet is it is a depletion diet. You cannot stay on it forever. You cannot stay on the diet forever. But the thing that you have to do is, like I said, you stay on it as long as you can until you start to feel depleted. Then after that, you start to do like fat refeeds. So like, let's say Saturday morning, you just wake up and you grab like bacon, omelets, stuff you don't usually eat. Standard keto food. You don't eat fat, but you don't eat carbs, but you eat standard keto food. And it kind of satiates your hunger. It's a fun meal to eat. It's good for your mind and your body and your soul, and it kind of gives you a reprieve from the diet. Should be able to let you diet longer, okay? After a while, you'll probably do the entire day Saturday of just eating what you want, okay? You'll probably go the entire day of eating whatever you want. And then after that, like I said, it will be like a Saturday, and then it will be a weekend. So basically at some point, it will be like Monday through Friday, you'll do the pure protein diet, and Saturday, Sunday, you'll do just standard keto. Like I said, just eat however many eggs and beef and whatever you want, okay? So basically what you'll do is you'll be like depleting yourself during the week. Then on the weekends, you'll have like the fat refeed to replenish your body. Then you'll go ahead and you'll deplete yourself during the week again. There's a couple of studies you might want to look at. One of them is called the Matador study. And there's also intermittent dieting or calorie cycling. Those are things that I didn't even know about when I came up with the pure protein diet, but I found out about them recently. I'm going to do videos on them where it basically says that that's also a good idea. Do like 5 days on a diet, 2 days off a diet. Okay, so what I'm basically trying to say here is how long would it take you to get from 200 down to 180? You said you're eating clean, 2,200 calories keto style. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for 180 pounds, I would suggest you go to 1,800 calories, 70% calories from protein, 30% calories from fat. Keep the carbs minimal, obviously, and go as long as you can. And when you start to feel depleted, mood swings, you're not mood swings, but your mood starts to go bad, your workouts might start to suffer, your hunger gets to be too much, then just go ahead and throw in a meal on a Saturday. Should make you feel better. Maybe you could diet for another week. You might go the whole day on Saturday. It's hard to explain, but the bottom line is, you just you push it as hard as you can. And like I said, if you're trying to drop 20 pounds, you should be able to do that in like, on the pure protein diet, you should be able to do that. I mean, I'm not trying to, promise too much here, but you should be able to do that in like 6 weeks easily. Like I said, I mean, a lot of people will be able to drop 5-10 pounds in the first, week or two. And, then just lose like 2-3 pounds a week at least after that. Okay. How lean should I stay in the off season? Nathan Murray. It depends. Okay. You really have to find a way. You have to find a place where you feel healthy. Okay. And it also depends upon, what you're doing. Okay. With me staying really, really, really lean, my biggest problem was before I did this lean bulk, I was always thinking to myself, it's like, if I ate a little bit more, I'd probably be able to like get stronger. Like I probably would have been able to do a few more reps. I probably would have been able to add some weight in the gym. And that kind of bothered me. Okay. So the question is, would you rather stay a little bit leaner? You know what I'm saying? Would you rather stay a little bit leaner and like, maybe you're not going to move as quickly as you want in the gym, okay? Which is fine. If you're at a point where you're happy with your body and you're happy staying lean, you will still slowly progress in strength, okay? But like I said, if you're in like a slight deficit, or if you're at very close maintenance calories, you're not going to get that much stronger. So like I said, it really depends upon you know, what you want to do. How lean should you stay? I don't think you should get fat. Okay, I don't think you should eat rubbish. I don't think you should get fat. Like I said, when I lean bulk, I still have abs. I mean, I don't have like a ripped, shredded six pack, but I still have very visible abs. You know, I'm still not afraid to take off my shirt. And I don't think you should get any fatter than that. The fatter you get, the more you start to have problems with estrogen. You know, like you create more estrogen, okay? You know, it's unhealthy to be fat, and you're gonna have to rip, you know, shred off the fat at some point anyway. So I really don't suggest you do that. But yeah, like I said, it really depends upon you. I was obese as a child. Okay, same guy, Nathan Murray. I was obese as a child, so I have a little body dysmorphia going on. Was 250, cut down to 120 at 5'4". Yeah, like I said, what I would suggest you do, okay, if you're at 120, okay, what I would suggest that you do is you, like I was saying to the Marine, what I suggest you do is you increase your calories, okay, to 1.5 grams of protein, or sorry, increase your protein to 1.5 grams per pound at the next level. So if you weigh 120 now, okay, get in maybe 15 calories per pound, okay? Get in like, you know, 1,800 calories. Okay, see how you feel there. But increase your protein for, let's say, 130 pounds, okay? 1.5 grams per pound at 130 pounds, okay? So you're feeding yourself the protein for your next level, your next goal body weight, okay? But you're keeping the calories down at where you're at. And like I said, depends upon your hunger. If you feel like you're sluggish in the gym, if you feel like you're hungry all the time, slowly increase your calories by 1 calorie per pound of body weight. So go, you know, add 120, maybe 150 calories a day. See if you feel a little bit better, okay? And that way you're like priming your body to grow to the next level, but you're not overfeeding yourself, okay? Dusan, who was asking about his diet before, thanks, you rock. What do you think about carnivore? Carnivore I've never done. I really need fiber. You know, even when I was eating rubbish, eating a normal standard American diet with carbs, I still always had problems with, like, you know, constipation. I mean, it sounds funny, but I've literally vomited because I had such intense abdominal pain and abdominal cramps. I've been in so much pain in my life. I've been bitten by guys in bar fights when I was a bouncer, hit with bottles, bitten by a dog, cut with a knife, all kinds of shit, broke bones. You know, the only time in my entire life that I actually vomited from pain, okay, was when I was constipated. And I was just like, my stomach hurt so goddamn bad. And one of the problems I had was water. And one of the problems I had was fat, and one of the problems I had was fiber. So when somebody comes with carnivore, it says something like, you know, when somebody comes with me with, you know, with carnivore, they say you don't need fiber. I really don't know about that. That's a massive issue that I have. You know, so like I said, it's not for me. It works. It's the same thing as being vegan. If you want to be vegan, that's great too. It's not my thing. It doesn't work for me. You know, I've been practically vegetarian a couple of times in my life where I would just, you know, I ate like rice and vegetables and maybe some cottage cheese or whatever. So I was kind of almost a vegetarian. I've never really been vegan. I'm nothing against it, but I'm nothing against carnivore. But I hate it when people tell me like, "Oh, you don't need fiber." It's like, fuck you, dude. I need fiber. Okay, I certainly need fiber. So that's my issue with carnivore. You know, and then when you add fiber to carnivore, you're basically doing keto, because it's also like, oh, well, you could, you know, add butter because that's like a animal product, and then you could add cheese because that's an animal product, and then you're in carnivore, you're in keto. So, like I said, I'm not a really big fan of carnivore. I'm also not a fan of intermittent fasting, but I've had people who hired me for coaching, and they were already doing intermittent fasting. I'm like, fine, you know, I set up their diet and told them eat 2 meals a day or 1 meal a day or whatever window you want. I don't care. You know, if somebody likes intermittent fasting, fine. I hate intermittent fasting. I need a bunch of meals a day. So that's just it. Yeah, Nathan Murray. So just eat to fuel my workouts. Thank you so much, buddy. Yeah, like I said, I mean, basically, you know, it's really overdone with this whole like bulking thing. When I say lean bulking, I don't mean like I want to gain so many pounds a week. I just say I'm going to eat protein for the next level. You know, like I said, let's go from like 180 to 200 pounds. I'll eat like I'll keep my calories at 180 pounds, set my protein for 200 pounds, and whenever I feel sluggish in the gym or whatever, I'll just go ahead and kind of add in a little bit of fat. I think of, I call it lean bulking so people know what it is, but it's really just like I'm concentrating on a strength phase as opposed to concentrating on getting lean. And the difference between getting lean slowly and getting building muscle slowly is when you're building muscle, you should never really be hungry. You should always feel satisfied. And when you're cutting slowly, you should always, feel satisfied. But you should always be like a little bit hungry almost. That's the only difference. It's not like this huge difference between, between cutting and bulking. And like I said, lean bulking. Once again, I was reading somebody on Instagram last night who was like a professional bodybuilder kind of guy. And he was saying he wants to gain like a pound a week. And he's like, if he can gain 10 pounds and 6 of them are muscle and 4 of them are fat, he's happy. I'm not really a big fan of that. I'm not really a big fan of saying you need to gain so many pounds a week. I'm really a big fan of when I'm doing a lean bulk or a strength phase or a muscle building phase, I'll be like, I want to add so many pounds to my weighted dips, my deadlifts, my squats, whatever. And, like I said, I'll just, if I'm feeling sluggish in the gym, I'll just eat a few more calories. That's it, but it's not a matter of me like I want to gain so many pounds a week and I don't want to gain any more than that because, I think like I said, a lot of times if you're feeding yourself because you want to gain a pound a week come hell or high water, maybe you're not capable of gaining a pound that week and it's just going to be fat. On the other hand, sometimes you grow in spurts. Maybe you might be able to gain, in a month, you might be able to gain a couple pounds of muscle. And if you keep it down to a certain level, like I don't want to gain any faster than this rate, you might be slowing your progress. So like I said, go by your hunger. Okay, Juan the Stabber. Hey, what's up, man? I think I saw you in my last live, which is awesome. Thanks for coming back. Hey, wanted to follow up on my question from last week. I recalculated my macros based on goal body weight instead of lean body mass. Keto seems to be back on track. Lost 2 pounds fat with no muscle loss. Okay, awesome. Awesome. Thank you very much, Juan. Yeah, okay. Like I said, when I talk about goal body weight, I don't talk about like lean mass, like 0% body fat, just bone, muscle, skin, blood, whatever. That's your lean body mass. If you had 0% body fat, I do not use that. It's like Juan said, he uses his goal body weight, okay? Goal body weight is like, figure out your body weight would be if you had like 8 or 10% body fat. Okay, that's the way that I really suggest it. Because if I remember correctly, maybe Juan was the guy who was doing, he had very low calories because he was using his lean body mass instead of his goal body weight, like his like 10% body fat body weight. So by going ahead using his goal body weight, he lost fat and he did not lose muscle. So that's kind of awesome. That's basically what we're looking for, isn't it? Cool. Yeah. Okay, we got any more questions? I'm not on Instagram today because issues, and there's not a whole lot of people that follow these lives on Instagram. It's more of a YouTube thing anyway. Okay, Juan the Stabber. So far, 2 months of keto went from 225 to 210. 3 pounds of muscle gain, 25% body fat to 21, trying to get down to 180, which should be 10% body fat. Got 1 month before vacation. Time for beast mode? Sure. Yes. Yes. Like I said, if you're trying to get down, on in body weight quickly, okay, and if you have quite a bit to lose, like I said, the pure protein diet is specifically for that. That's exactly what it's made for. It's not a performance diet. It doesn't nourish your body. It doesn't grow with you. Okay, like the Anaerobixx diet is a diet where you can grow with it. You can lose fat. You can also build muscle. You can recompose on it. You can stay on it for the rest of your life. Low-carb bulking, like I said, you're not bulking and gaining fat, so you can stay on that for the rest of your life. The pure protein diet has one purpose, and that is to lose body fat quickly. You cannot stay on that forever, okay? So if you want to go beast mode, you just jump on the pure protein diet. And like I said, you'll lose fat quickly. You'll definitely lose fat quickly. even though keto has worked so far. Okay, so the thing about this is, if something's working, stay with it. Okay, if keto's working, you're losing a couple pounds a week, and that's good for you, stay with it. Okay. The difference between keto and the pure protein diet is with keto, your body is burning fat, okay, for fuel. Part of it is your body fat, part of it is the fat you're eating. So there's a competition here. Now, if you reduce the amount of fat that you eat, you're going to burn more body fat. Number one, you're reducing the calories by reducing your fat. So you're going to burn more body fat. Number two, like I said, all you're burning is fat. You're not burning carbs anymore. So if you cut down on the amount of fat you take in, don't cut it out, but cut down on the amount of fat you're taking in, you'll have to burn more body fat. Okay? And since you keep your protein high, you'll preserve your muscle. You can still build muscle. Okay? So that's so like I said, that's the way it works. Like I said, if keto's working for you, definitely stay on that. That's fine. But like I said, the difference is if you want to just like, let's cut the bullshit and just drop 5 or 10 pounds real quick, then just go ahead and like I said, jump on the pure protein diet for a while and then see how that works. But it's basically like just like a kickstart. You can make a lot of progress. Okay. 10 Arte, how to broaden your shoulders. Okay, I'm not really a big guy in terms of sculpting your body. I mean, I know I used to do bodybuilding when I was in my 20s, so like, yeah, obviously lateral raises are great to broaden your shoulders. Exercises like that. Right now, people talk about my shoulders as being like I posted a picture where I had like that bicep cut, like between the biceps and the triceps. And I was in a Starbucks and I just like, with a polo shirt on, I just, flexed and, just talked about this cut. And one guy's like, dude, screw your arms. How do you get those shoulders, And I don't really do much for my shoulders right now, except for handstands and weighted dips. Because the fact of the matter is when you build your shoulders up, or when you build your weighted dips up, your shoulders, your triceps, your chest, everything just grows. So that's all that I do, and I get a lot of compliments on my shoulders. How do you broaden your shoulders? Okay, let's talk about Vince Gironda saying that everything is an illusion. The smaller your waist is, the broader your shoulders look. Okay? You can either make your shoulders bigger or you can make your waist smaller. But either way, you're going to look, your shoulders are going to look bigger. Obviously, the best thing is to make your shoulders broader and your waist smaller. Okay, so it creates the illusion of having even wider shoulders. Number one. Number two, I keep saying muscular doesn't mean the amount of muscle you have. Muscular means the extent to which you can see the muscle you have. Okay? So if you get leaner and you can see the separation between like the bicep, the tricep, the separation between the delts and everything, and this gets crisper, like the skin gets thinner, so to speak, because you're losing body fat, you'll definitely look like you have broader shoulders then. So like I said, if you want to do weights, yeah, like lateral raises, front raises, stuff like that would be great to build it up. Personally, I just do a lot of weighted dips and handstands, but do not discount, for getting broad shoulders, the importance of making your waist smaller by losing fat and by bringing out the muscle definition by losing fat. Like when I was on the pure protein diet, just a few weeks ago or a month or whatever ago, I was really lean and I had just insane definition in my shoulders, and my shoulders looked huge just because they were so lean and you could see the muscles. Okay, Michelle Owen, do you have a formula for figuring out your goal body weight? No. No, I don't. It's really hard to find out what your actual lean body weight is. Okay, because like I said, a lot of times, when you get a test for your body fat percentage, even if you have like a DEXA scan, you'll see like 3 guys getting a DEXA scan, and one will look leaner than the other, but the DEXA scan will say this guy has like, 10%, and the other guy who doesn't look as lean supposedly has 8%. It's just like a crazy thing, even with a DEXA scan, which is state of the art. Okay, so like, if you want to get your body fat percentage checked, okay, with a DEXA scan, that's probably the best way. Another way I do this is, like I said, I look at a lot. If you watch this video from the beginning, you'll see there was a guy who went from over 300 pounds to under 200 pounds. And my rule of thumb of 5 pounds of body fat for every inch around your waist held true for him. Okay? So the thing about it is, let's say you want to go, you have a 34-inch, 34-inch waist, and you want to have a 30-inch waist. Well, you're going to have to lose 4 inches, which at 5 pounds per inch, you're going to have to lose 20 pounds. Okay? So that's another way to figure out your goal body weight. Another way to figure out your goal body weight is if you ever were lean. Like I said, the first time that I got really, really lean is when I was getting ready for an amateur MMA competition, and I had to cut all the way down to like 167 pounds. I got down to 170, and then I like dehydrated a couple pounds. So when I did my first transformation, where I lost a bunch of weight, I set my goal body weight at 170 because I had basically the same amount of lean muscle mass as I did back then. Okay. Basically what I would do is I would take my lean, if you could figure out what your lean body mass is, like your actual 0% lean body mass, I would divide that by 9 and multiply by 10, and then you would get basically what your body weight would be at 10% body fat. Now that's for a man. Okay, Michelle Owen, I'm assuming you're a woman. Okay, and 10% body fat would be too unhealthy, too low for you. So figure out what your body weight would be, your goal body fat percentage would be, okay? And then just, like I said, figure it out like that, okay? Like I said, for men trying to get down to 10%, take your lean body mass, divided by 9, multiplied by 10, and that is your lean body mass plus 10% body fat. Okay, like I said, for women, 10% is too low to be healthy. So figure out your body mass like that, but whatever body fat percentage you want to have. Okay, opinion on SARMs for bulking. Also, are you comfortable talking about your prior AAS usage? Okay, first of all, SARMs, I have no idea. Okay, no experience whatsoever with SARMs. I'm not really a big fan of SARMs. And the fact is, they're pretty much illegal, aren't they? I mean, you can't really even get your hands on them, these days. Okay. Honestly, my uninformed opinion about SARMs and steroids is if you're going to use SARMs, and this is not me giving any kind of medical or legal advice, but if you're going to go ahead and go to some black market website to get SARMs and you put that shit in your body to get bigger, I suggest, I personally would just use steroids instead of using SARMs. I have no idea. Like, do SARMs work? I don't know. Some people say they do. Some people say they don't. Are they legal? I don't really think so these days. You can't buy them on Amazon anymore. Everybody's distancing themselves from them. Okay? So like I said, if I were to go ahead and use something to get stronger, and if I were to go ahead and, do something like gray market, black market, quasi-illegal or completely illegal, just go ahead and get steroids because at least they work, okay? Not that I'm recommending steroids, no legal medical advice. I'm just saying I've never been a big fan of, no experience with SARMs, never been a big fan of SARMs, okay? Am I comfortable talking about my prior AAS usage? I'm on TRT. That's it. Like I said, it's like, when people talk about like, oh, you're on steroids, like if you consider, TRT steroids, fine. Okay, that's your choice. I gained like 18 pounds in a year and a half of lean mass and got strong as hell, and it had to do with the time that I started on testosterone, on TRT. Number one, yes, it is true, that I gained all that mass and all that lean muscle when I started on TRT. It's also when I ate a perfect diet for a year and a half. It's also when I worked out perfectly for a year and a half. And it's also when I introduced weights for the first time. I hadn't lifted weights since I was in my early 20s. And then I was like, 43, 44, when I added all this mass. That was the first time in decades, like 20 plus years, that I had actually lifted weights. So it's like, and it was only 18 pounds in like 18, 20 months. So that's like a pound pound a month of muscle. So it's not really that impressive. When I did jump on TRT, yes, I did go ahead and build up like like a lot of muscle in the first couple months. Okay, but like I said, I was also newbie gains because I was also eating to bulk instead of eating to cut. I was also putting on a lot of muscle. So that's the closest that I came to. To AAS, steroids. Um, okay, got something from Joseph McGee. Skipped you. I had look up 7 spots. I haven't seen your name up here. I'm just looking. I haven't seen your name. So go ahead and ask me again, Mr. McGee. Um, am I mesomorph, ectomorph, or endomorph? I don't really buy that stuff. When I was a kid, I was skinny fat. So where the hell does that fit in? I mean, skinny fat is like you're fat like an endomorph, and you're skinny like an ectomorph. So I really don't know. I don't really don't know. I don't really buy any of that stuff. I will tell you right now, speaking of AAS, speaking of steroids, speaking of, endomorph, ectomorph, mesomorph, etc. I'm taking this, I have the same genetics. I'm taking the same amount of testosterone as always. And when I slacked off on my diet and my training, I got fat as all hell. Okay. Intentionally, quasi, like to get ready for this transformation, but I don't really buy into that esomorph, mesomorph, endomorph shit. Melissa Lewis, I've been doing LC, low carb, high fat, 4 years, lost over 50 pounds in the first 10 months, 213 to 158. Started working out, gained 20 back. I want to look more muscular. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming that the 20 pounds you gained back are not good pounds. I really don't know. Um, Yeah, like I said, I don't know. I don't know about. I really don't know about if you gained back. So basically, what you're saying is you lost a whole bunch of fat when you went on keto, and then you gained back 20 when you started working out. You want to look more muscular. Um, yeah, I mean, maybe because you started working out, you kind of overate. I mean, like I said, it's I don't know. It's kind of a weird question here. Like I said, it's yeah, it's kind of a weird question. You must have drastically increased your calories if you gained back 20 pounds. Um, were you still on low carb when you gained those 20 pounds, or did you go off keto when you started working out? Like I said, like I just said right now, it's like, even though I'm on a fairly high dose of medical testosterone replacement, if I let my diet slip, I'll get fat. And if I let my training slip, I'll get fat. So, like I said, I don't know. Maybe because you started working out, you were more hungry and you just kind of ate more. And like I said, it's a weird question because I don't know if you were still on keto or what. Okay, Juan the Stabber. Another hang up I have for trying pure protein is the sheer mass of food you have to consume. I have no appetite on keto, so keeping a deficit is easy. Based on one of your videos, I calculated how many chickens I'd have to destroy per day. LOL. Put all the meat on a scale, and it looked pretty daunting. Any tips for appetite? Yeah, you shouldn't eat more than you have an appetite for. Let's get back to my bulking. People say that you have a hard time eating calories for bulking. If you're not eating carbs, if you're not eating rubbish, if you're not drinking soda and drinking coffee and stuff like that, that's one of the reasons why I'm against coffee, because a lot of times people will drink coffee with cream and sugar or whatever. They'll drink that all day and then they won't be hungry, but they didn't eat their meals. Okay. So if all you do is just drink water, maybe 1 cup of coffee in the morning, you don't eat carbs, you don't eat any fun bullshit, you don't drink soda, you don't eat anything but meat and protein, you will be hungry. Okay. And you will eat enough. Okay. There's no reason for you to have to go ahead and eat. There's no reason for you to have to go ahead and eat. There's no reason for you to have to go ahead and just eat for the sake of eating or force yourself to eat. I mean, like I said, when I'm on the pure protein diet, believe me, I eat every single meal. I lick the damn plate. I lick the salt off the plate. Like I'm hungry. When I'm on the pure protein diet. So, like I said, try it, because the thing is, you need to consider. I mean, you're eating basically all you're basically eating is like protein and a little bit of fat. So, it's like I said, just try the pure protein diet. You're not going to probably not going to be, it's probably not going to be too much to eat. Okay, George 2, Safranos 2. What should an obese teen, 16-year-old, do to lose weight and get ripped? You know, if you're younger than like 18, I'm kind of like, I don't want to put out any legal, medical, whatever advice here or tell kids what to eat. Um, what do I suggest you do? I'm not going to tell you to go keto, okay? But what I will tell you to do is to eat natural foods as natural as possible, okay, and to concentrate on protein, okay? You know, basically just don't eat like a hog. Don't eat anything for fun. Basically, just eat food that's, that will help you, that will help you grow. Okay. In other words, like I said, just eat natural foods. Like I said, I'm not going to tell you to go keto, but I will tell you to basically eat your carbs before and after your workout. Um, yeah. Like I said, I kind of hesitate to tell kids what to eat because I am kind of into like extreme-ish diets and I am kind of into low carb diets, and I don't want somebody to get pissed off at me because I'm telling kids to go on some extreme diets. Juan the Stabber, my calculation was 185 goal body weight, so 1,850 calories, 323 grams protein. Um, Yeah, I'm not. I don't know about the calories. Or I don't know about these calculations right now. I'm trying to do them real quick in my head, but yeah, like I said, if your goal body weight is 185 pounds, you want to jump on the pure protein diet. Yeah, 1,850 calories. 70% of those calories coming from from protein, and 30 coming from fat. Yeah, would be right. Okay. Bokius, hello, your 40-year-old transformation. How do you know that your diet and workout plan was the right one and didn't have any doubts trying to change it but went through the whole 4 months? Okay, first of all, um, my diet did change. Okay, my diet did change. It was lower calories in the beginning, and then after a while, like I said, I just started getting hungry. I felt like I needed more energy, so I slowly increased the calories. Okay, so my diet did change. The workout plan did change. Okay, I started off really slow, and I increased the volume of the workouts. Okay, I increased the volume of the workouts, so that means I start off doing like maybe 4 sets of burpees. I increase it to like 6 and 8 and 10 and 12. Okay. And I increased the intensity by making some of the exercises harder. Okay, so my diet and workout plan both did change. How did I know that my workout and diet plan were the same and didn't have any doubts? Yeah, that's actually the very important thing. You need to believe whatever you're doing. You need to make a decision you're going to do whatever. Okay. In business, people call it shiny object syndrome. Like, I want to sell shit on Amazon. No, I want to sell shit on eBay. No, I want to become a public speaker. No, I want to be an Instagram influencer. And it's like everybody's selling you a new program, and you need to be like, I'm going to do this one thing and I'm going to stick to it. Okay. That's the hardest thing about like internet business, shiny object syndrome. And you get that a lot also with diets. You need to just believe whatever diet you're on, whatever workout you're on, that it is the best one. Okay. Think and Grow Rich, the guy talks about like people like, Henry Ford, they would decide quickly, make their mind up quickly, and they would change their mind slowly, if at all. Okay. So what you really have to do is you have to look out like, hey, there are different diets. Which one do you think you're going to be able to stay on? Which one do you think will get you the best results for where you are now to where you want to go, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then you just need to make the decision. I'm going to stay on this. I'm just going to stay on this. I'm not going to switch off to another diet. I'm not going to, go from bulking to cutting. I'm not going to switch from low carb to high carb. You're just going to stick to it. So it's a great question, actually. Basically, what I did is I created, I already got cut once doing basically PSMF. I didn't know what it was, but I basically did PSMF, protein sparing modified fasting. Had like a bowl of granola, and a whey protein shake before my workout. I had a whey protein shake with orange juice after my workout. The rest of the day it was either pure whey protein or pure chicken. All day, just pure protein, like no fat, carbs right before and after my workout. Then when I did my 40-year-old transformation, it was basically the Anaerobixx diet 2.0, okay, where I basically did a little bit of research and changed the diet that I did the first time, and now I've got like the 3.0 version. But the point is, I just did some research, created a diet, wrote it out, and didn't look anywhere else. I didn't look up any other diets. I didn't consider any other diets. I just stayed on the diet, and that was it. I had 100% belief that it was going to work. And Vince Gironda says this too. Vince Gironda said the same thing. You have to believe. You have to have a positive attitude. You know, he was famous for throwing people out of his gym if they didn't train the way he wanted to. And he says he sees people, they do workouts that he doesn't agree with at all, but they get great results. Why? Because they believe 100% that what they're doing, whether it's right or not, is going to work. So that's, like I said, I'm sorry if I'm going off on a little tangent here, but Abokius, that was an awesome question, actually. You need to make the decision, whatever diet you're going to stick on, whatever workout you're going to stick on, you're going to stick in it and follow it through until the end. And yes, you will have to change your diet a little bit as you go along. You will have to change your workout as you go along. But that should be part of the plan. It shouldn't be like going from one diet to the other. It should just be like, you know, increasing calories as you go along, you know, increasing volume, intensity of the exercise you do as you go along. It shouldn't be changing things completely. Basically, you should start with a plan and then just follow all the way through. It takes a lot of belief, but that's the only way you get results. Juan the Stabber, working about your body type is too close. Yeah, worrying probably about your body type is too close to saying self-limiting beliefs. Yeah, exactly. You know, a lot of guys come out like, oh, I'm an ectomorph, so I can't build muscle. You know, and like you say, that's a, you know, self-limiting belief. You know, I mean, I was skinny fat. Like I said, I don't even fit into ectomorph or endomorph or anything because I was fat like a big guy and skinny like a skinny guy. You know, what do you want? You know, like I said, that doesn't even fit in anywhere. You know, and now I'm pretty lean when I'm concentrating on being lean, and I'm pretty muscular when I'm concentrating on being muscular. So it's definitely just, yeah, don't even worry about whether you're an ectomorph or a mesomorph or anything. Just that it's all definitely limiting beliefs. Tammy Arte, any side effects that you experienced on TRT? No hair loss. People worry about hair loss. My mother's father, my maternal grandfather, from what I've heard, that's the person who determines your genetics for hair. He died with very thick hair. Okay. So I think a lot of times when people lose hair on TRT or whatever, on gear, it's like they already have like a genetic predisposition to lose their hair, and they may lose it faster. I don't know. All I know is I have absolutely zero problem with hair loss. Physically, I'm doing great. You know, no problems with my cholesterol or blood pressure or anything. I'm doing great with that. To be entirely honest, side effects, I got a little bit of gyno one time. Gyno, bitch tits, gynecomastia. I did something stupid, and I increased the amount of HCG. People who are on TRT know what that is. I increased the amount of HCG I was taking because I heard that it might help with like something. Okay, it might help with sexual function is what I heard. This is really crazy. So I increased it, and all of a sudden I got like a little bit of gyno. Okay, so that was awesome. Okay. And basically, you don't really see it, but like if you know what you're looking for, you might see it in some of my shots sometimes. And it was from HCG. It has nothing to do with the testosterone. The testosterone stayed the same. And the problem that I was having was actually I needed to get my Arimidex dialed in to keep my estrogen low. So that was the only side effect that I had on TRT. And it was because without consulting my doctor, I was like, well, let me just see if this works with taking more HCG. And next thing you know, I'm all fucked up. So that was the only bad-ish experience I've had on TRT, but zero side effects. Okay, Melissa Lois, yes, you stayed keto. Yeah, okay, well, let's... okay, and then you did say down the bottom, Melissa Lewis, yes, I did stay keto. I did get off course for 4 months, but I'm working to get back on track. Like I said, I mean, I really am not a big fan of eating whatever you feel like on keto, as long as it's high fat and low carb. I'm not really a big fan of that. Whether I go to cut or to bulk or even to maintain, I always monitor everything that I eat. If you do not want to monitor your calories and your fat and your protein intake, what I would suggest you do is you try the steak and eggs diet. It's something that I've covered a million times on this channel. Check out the videos. Basically, Melissa, what you do is you have 2 meals a day: breakfast, dinner, breakfast, lunch, whatever. Nothing but meat and eggs. Okay, you have like 1 green salad a day. Okay. Um, in between meals, you eat nothing. You just drink water, and then you can go ahead and eat as much as you want. And you'll notice when you go on the steak and eggs diet, sometimes you'll feel like you want more chicken or lean meat or fish or whatever because your body's telling you it needs protein. Sometimes you want like really fatty foods, okay, really fatty, like 80% lean beef, and throw the butter on and more eggs and whatever. Your body needs more energy. So that's something, because you're only eating 2 meals a day, you're naturally limiting the amount of calories you take in. So that's the only diet that I ever suggest that you do where you actually don't track. Other than that, I track everything, you know. Definitely, I track everything all the time. SB Spaz, how's it going, man? Tips for increasing workout endurance. I've lost over 84 pounds. Holy shit. Very, very good. Lost over 84 pounds now, and my overall health has improved a lot, but I still get tired and out of breath so easily. Workout endurance, well, what I do is I always throw in some kind of HIIT training, okay? Uh, if I'm on like a low carb bulk, or if I'm doing low carbs, I don't do a massive amount of intervals, but I always throw in some burpees, or whatever at the end, some jump rope intervals a couple times a week. Okay, that's basically the only way that that I do it, increasing workout endurance. Um, like I said, I really need carbs, okay, before and after my workout. If I'm going to be doing some like really high intensity stuff, like today I did 5 minutes of jump rope just to warm up. Then I did my 20 rep squats. I did my 5 sets of deadlifts for the trap bar. Then I did broad jumps. Then I did squat tucks. Then I did burpees. That was a lot. After squats and trap bar deads, I did the broad jumps, the squat tucks and the burpees. That was like killer. Okay, at the end of the workout. So for that amount and that intensity of an exercise, yes, I do take some carbs before and after. But like I said, in general, like I said, all I really do is I just throw in some, just like I said, throw in a few sets of burpees at the end of a workout. Throw in some jump rope at the end of a workout. That's all I really do. Blackwing, what's up, man? Friend of mine's on TRT. It's such a small dose you can't call it doing steroids. He looks perfectly normal, not shredded or ripped, just average. TRT is nothing like doing steroids. Yeah, that's true. It's like I said, one guy actually came onto my channel and he was asking me questions. He's like, shouldn't you cycle off? Rich Piana says. I'm like, Rich Piana's talking about gear. And he's like, well, I'm on TRT, but I got a plateau. Yeah, that's going to happen. TRT is not magic. Like I said, I built, on TRT, I built like 18 pounds of muscle in like 18 or 20 or whatever months. Like if I was on gear, I would have built up 18 pounds of muscle in like 3 months. Okay. There's a massive difference. Have you ever tried other types of diets other than keto? What's your opinion on the glyco diet and carb cycling diet? Yeah. Okay. I never really did very well. Okay. On I need two things to cut fat. I need to do high intensity interval training. Like I need to do like burpee intervals, jump rope intervals, things like that. And I need to eat high protein, and I need to have low carbs. And I actually, to get really, really lean, I need to actually, limit the amount of fat that I take in. That's just me. The chicken and rice thing, or the if it fits your macros thing, that never really worked for me. Glyco diet, I really don't know what that is. Okay. The glucose diet. Okay, I don't know what the glucose diet is either. Never heard of it. I'll look it up. The carb cycling diet makes sense. Okay, carb cycling diet makes sense. So like you have like lower carbs, and then you do like a heavier workout like legs, you'll have more carbs. You have a rest day, you'll have lower carbs. That's basically what I do with the pure protein diet. There will come a time, like I said, you can't stay on the pure protein diet forever. So what I would do is like rest day, abs and cardio day, I would stay on the pure protein diet. And then if I'm doing like a lower body or an upper body workout, I would stay on like a lean bulking, low carb lean bulking diet. So I'll do fat cycling. Every day I have basically the same amount of protein. If it's a rest day, I'll have less fat, fewer calories. If it's a heavy workout day, I'll have more fat, more calories to give me the energy. So I do fat cycling, but I'm not a big fan of carb cycling. But that's just me. That's my body. My body doesn't really do well with carbs. Okay. As a matter of fact, I specifically did a lot of research recently on how to do a carb refeed. And I specifically, it wasn't a junk day, it wasn't a cheat day. I had an excellent, 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 perfectly engineered carb refeed. And it took me, I gained like 12 pounds, and it took me like the whole week. It took me until like Thursday or Friday to go ahead and, lose the fat from previous Saturday. So, yeah, like I said, I'm not really somebody like that that does well on carbs at all. Fitness engineers, hello, sir. Vinny from India. I want to start the Vince Gironda diet. Hey, like I said, definitely check it out. I got plenty of videos on my channel. The Vince Gironda diet. Okay, the hormone precursor diet. I've never gone through low carb diet, hormone precursor diet. Should I start with 36 eggs a day? No, you shouldn't start with 36 eggs a day. The hormone precursor diet. Okay, it depends upon what you. Like I said, I always figure out your macros. I always figure out my calories. Okay, when I was on basically like the hormone precursor diet, I would have 6 eggs mixed with 6 fluid ounces of half and half twice a day. Okay, raw. 6 eggs mixed with 6 fluid ounces, half and half, some cinnamon for flavor. I'd shake it up. I'd do that twice a day, and I'd have 2 8-ounce steaks a day. And that was when I had a lean body weight of like 170. Okay. So, yeah, maybe start with like 2 meat meals a day, okay, of meat. And start with 2 shakes of 6 eggs and 6 fluid ounces, half and half. Like I said, that worked for me at 170. If you're a lot lighter than that, you might want to start with 4 eggs and 4 fluid ounces of half and half. Okay. When you start the that diet. John McGee, got your question. Okay, I'm 5'8". Started at 252, down to 231. Congratulations. I'm walking daily with hypertrophy training. Okay. I do have some good muscle weight, definitely insulin resistant. Do you think I'm on the right path? Yeah, I mean, like I said, if you're doing something that's working, then definitely stay on that, Yeah, I mean, like I said, if you went from if you went from 252 down to 231, like I said, just keep doing what you're doing. But I will tell you something that, I know, something that I've noticed, is that the leaner that you get, the more you have to pay attention to exactly what your macros are. Like, if you're very overweight, and as long as you cut your calories, you'll be doing fine. You'll lose weight because you're very overweight. And then the leaner and leaner you get, the more and more you're going to have to, the more and more you're going to have to, the more and more you're going to have to pay attention to exactly how much fat you're getting in, exactly how many carbs you're getting in, exactly how much protein you're getting in. But if it's working for you now, just stay on it until it doesn't work anymore. Okay, Tanmay Arte, which one do you prefer per protein source, chicken, meat, or beef? If I eat beef for 4 Sundays in a month, how much will I gain? I don't know what you mean, beef for 4 Sundays in a month. I don't know what that means. What I prefer, I like to eat a lot of chicken. Okay, and I've said this in the last live. Somebody asked me why I take chicken instead of beef. Chicken is basically pure protein. So if I take in chicken, like 200 grams of chicken, I know I'm getting 47 grams of protein and like no fat and like 3 grams of fat and no carbs. So if I want to add in more fat, I just go ahead and I add in, like some almonds, okay, or some kind of nuts, and that adds in fat, okay. If I want to go ahead and, if I want to go ahead and add in a lot more fat, then I'll go ahead and switch it up. I'll drop the chicken and the almonds, and I'll replace that meal with like ground beef, like 80% lean ground beef, okay? But in general, like I said, my favorite is chicken. I could eat a lot of chicken. I love eating chicken. I could eat it all day, every day. So that's very important because I eat a lot of meals. But another thing too is, like I said, I know it's pure protein. So if I want to add in fat, I could add in fat. If I don't want to add in fat, I just cut out the fat. Whereas if you have something like I said, like beef, it has a certain amount of fat. You can't make it any leaner than that. You can't reduce the calories. Okay, and it's in order to add fat to beef, like maybe sometimes I'll throw in like a couple of eggs, or I might throw in some cheese on top of it. But in general, like I said, I like chicken because chicken's the best for me. Like I said, unless I want to have a high fat meal, in which case I'll add in some beef instead. Okay, 4 times in a month. I don't know why you're only eating beef 4 times in a month and what you're eating for the rest of the month. You know, why would you only eat beef on Sundays? Thomas Arndt say, why current bodybuilders don't use the Vince Gironda workout and diet principles? You know, they use a lot of his workout principles. I mean, he came up with 10 sets of 10 reps, which is German volume training. If you've ever heard of German volume training, it's basically the same thing as Vince Gironda's 10 by 10. You know, people use a lot of his systems. You know, in terms of the exercises, he was really into being lean and not being extremely muscular. Okay, he was really into being lean and not being particularly muscular. So he didn't have people doing squats, etc. He had people doing, you know, hard workouts. Like he would have you doing pull-ups all the way up to like your chest before he even thought about adding weight to your pull-ups. You know, these days you got people in the gym, bodybuilders, they don't even do, you know, proper pull downs. They'll do pull downs like maybe to their chin or whatever, much less pull ups. So, like I said, his workouts were hard. The reason why nobody follows Vince Gironda's diet principles is because all massive bodybuilders these days are on insulin. And if you don't take in carbs, but you do take in insulin, you will fucking die. It's just the way shit is. You know, you will literally fucking die if you, you know, if you take in insulin, you don't take in carbs. So you can't go on a low carb diet and shoot insulin as a performance enhancer, okay? And all the big bodybuilders are on insulin. You know, 90s, Dorian Yates era, everybody blew up, they got huge, okay? Well, guess what? Dorian Yates era, 90s, everybody started using growth hormone and insulin. So, like I said, you know, that's in my opinion, that's the reason why people don't you know, that's the reason why people don't follow Vince Gironda's diets anymore. Okay. You know, and you'll see a lot of smaller guys like me, you know, a lot of smaller guys who aren't like the biggest open weight class bodybuilders in the world, and they will be following low carb diets because they're not using insulin because they don't want to get that big. Okay. Heat problem for beef. Beef doesn't allow my city. Yeah, like I said, you don't have, I mean, you don't have to necessarily eat beef. I mean, you could eat, you know, any type of meat. You know, like I said, I mean, my question is, what would you be eating the other 6 days a week if you're only eating beef on Sundays? Okay, like I said, I mean, I do great on chicken. You know, you need to add in fat somehow, maybe eggs, cheese. I don't know if cheese is okay. You know, I don't eat a whole lot of beef at all. Actually, I very rarely eat beef. So yeah. Good. Okay. Let me see here. Okay, so like I said, we're not live on Instagram today. If we were, because it's over an hour now, if we were, we would have been thrown out of Instagram because they only do lives for an hour. I just want to go ahead and say, definitely follow me on Instagram at Anaerobixx. Okay, if you're not. Today's Friday. Sunday, I'm going to be weighing in and measuring my waist and running around with my shirt off in my bathroom. It's going to be a complete 7 days on my Recom. Okay, definitely follow me on Instagram. Definitely join me for Recom 2020. Okay, we got like 3 months now until January 2000. Okay, so let's definitely do this. Instead of having like a New Year's resolution to get in shape, let's get in shape before New Year's. How about that? Okay, follow me. There's one girl, she's already followed me on, she's created something that she calls Find My Abs or something like that, where she posted her picture, posted her measurements, and, you know, she's going to go ahead and recompose her body. And I suggest you guys do as well. So like I said, go ahead and, you know, follow me on Instagram at Anaerobixx. Put up a picture of yourself, like a before picture, your weight, your waist measurement, tag me at Anaerobixx, put the hashtag Recom2020, and let's do this all together. Like I said, we got 3 months. We can make a massive difference in our physiques in the 3 months until January 1st, okay? So instead of doing waiting until the year begins and then doing a New Year's resolution, which will never follow, let's resolve right now to get in shape by the 1st of January, okay? So you'll be that guy who's not necessarily drunk, but he just wants to get naked at the damn New Year's party because fuck it, you're ripped, okay? You could do a lot in 3 months if you really work your ass off, okay? So definitely follow me, and we will see each other on Sunday in Instagram when I show what my progress was for the first week on Recom 2020. All right, one more question. What's your age? 45. Just turned 45 recently. Okay, guys, thanks a lot. Everybody who showed up, I really appreciate this. I'm going to be doing this. I missed last week, but I've been doing this every single week. And like I said, follow me on Instagram because I'm going to be putting out a lot about Recom 2020. See you guys in the next video.